Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code DRASIN12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
All right, let's go. I'm ready. Ready? Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have a very big surprise for you today, and for me as well. I got Doug Brgnole back. I got Jeff Bornstein, who's been on before, who used to compete in bodybuilding. And have our retired weatherman, Fritz Coleman. It was his first couple of days since he's been retired. The first thing he did was come to see the Rick.
You're darn right. And to show my guns.
And to show my guns.
Well, you just retired Friday.
Yeah. Friday, man.
Very nice, very nice.
We used to meet for coffee at Starbucks in the mornings and sit and chat and this and that. So I've known Fritz a long time, and Jeff I've known forever. And the same thing with Doug. Jeff used to compete in bodybuilding years ago. What year was that?
86.
So was you in that picture?
It could have been, yeah. Franco's a little taller than me.
Okay.
and then from that point, you went into doing magic.
I went to the Army.
In the Army.
And then I served, and then I got out, became a stuntman for quite some time.
That's right.
And then did the magic, always did the magic, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was always kind of
a hobby.
A hobby and my job.
And then it became,
Yeah, and then I got injured doing stunts, so retired stunts, and then Kimberly and I, my lovely wife, we started doing, we put together an act, and I've got a gambling act and all this stuff, but I never stopped working out. Just, it's good for the mind,
right.
As you know,
right.
and you know,
right.
Yeah.
You know. Essential.
Yeah, it's
essential for sanity.
Just get you out of yourself, man. So
Fritz, you put how many years in?
See, as soon as they go from working out, then over to Fritz. See, Rick likes me to hang around because this shows what happens if you don't take care of your body.
No, no, we're talking about occupation.
What was the question?
Wait a minute, Fritz. I've never seen you out of shape.
No, I'm a cyclist. I do exercise. It just doesn't show.
Well, it shows because you haven't gained weight.
You're a cardio guy.
That's right.
You're a cardio guy.
You have to look at the good
He's
side.
lean
of that.
and mean.
Cardio guy.
All right. So how has this downtime affected you?
Wow. Okay. Great question. Our calendar has been wiped clean for all of this year.
Right, because performance requires an audience.
And that's pretty much for every working artist, stage artist, if you will. And all the comedy clubs, everything's closed down. Magic Castle closed.
Right.
So I figured, okay, what can I do? What am I good at? Motivational speaking, and I always wanted to do voiceover. So I've been writing my motivational speaking on bullying. Oddly enough, we were just talking about this. I was just bullied again recently. And you don't have to be 10 years old. You could be 60 years old and be bullied and everything in between, and not even know it. And I didn't know it, but that's a different show. And I just recently purchased a mic. I saw this mic. This is blue. Is this a Yeti?
Yes, it is.
It's a Yeti. So I'm starting to learn my mics. So I just bought myself a Rode Podcaster, and I've been getting like 5 or 6 auditions a day now.
But voiceover. Is that for commercials?
Commercial.
Animation?
Commercial, animation, and character. So I can do all three.
Because some of those are limited in terms of operating now with COVID.
Well, everyone's doing it from home. I just walked in. I'm seeing all the soundproof stuff. I'm like, this is what I need to get. The Orlex, and like, how do I set up my booth and blah blah blah? Because you got helicopters and cars going by. I'm like, man.
Yeah. Every time I go outside, I get on the phone, a helicopter comes over.
Yeah. You
That's me.
You got to drown that sound.
That's me.
Fritz, now you're not doing the weather now. You're going to go back into comedy.
Well, if comedy returns, Listen, I have so much empathy for my performing friends, like the Bornsteins and like all my comedy friends that have had a year to 2 years worth of work go away.
Yeah.
And nobody knows when it's going to return. And we were just talking about this, and I want to hear Jeff's opinion about this. If they're going to reopen nightclubs, which may happen in 6 months or so, and they have to do a situation where you have to socially distance, and so you have to have a seat between you and your neighbor, small venues will never make it. Because if you work in a 100-seat club and you can only put 50 people in the front door, you're not going to make enough money to open the door.
Right.
So the odd thing is, the catch-22 is only large venues will be able to make it. The clubs that you and I like to work, the small and medium-sized clubs, will have a real difficult time opening. So.
Yeah, they get like 5 people.
Yeah.
I mean, the act, what I was going with is that and you've seen the act. Everyone here's seen the act a few times.
Yeah.
But the act, especially besides the close-up and the comedy magic, the act that Kimberly and I had, which was the mind-reading act,
Yeah.
where I have to be in the audience.
Right. You have to touch their items.
Yeah.
That act is gone.
Yeah, right.
That act is no more.
Yeah.
And I want to do, and Kimberly's at high risk. She has autoimmune deficiency, so I don't put her at high risk. So that act is gone. So no,
Sometime it might come back, but it'll be a while.
It'll be a while. Yeah.
it could, but for Kimberly's sake, I just don't want to put her at that kind of a risk. So, and we're okay with it. We're totally okay with it.
You also do auctioneering.
Yes, I do.
Yes, he does.
But,
I've heard
but
him.
there's not too many auctions going on either.
I like to do cattle and horses.
Do you?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I didn't know that.
I do charity auctions.
There you go.
Where you don't have to be real serious about it. But that's another really interesting point. A big part of my life has been nonprofit fundraising. These guys have worked with me on many of those.
Bing Crosby auction.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah, the auctions, and because of this, small and medium-sized nonprofits are getting really hit bad. First of all, people aren't in a position to donate anymore.
Right.
And second of all, you can't get them in the room and generate any electricity to get them to bid.
Right.
I've done a couple of Zoom fundraisers, and time slows down. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's-
I was at a party and I saw Fritz do his auctioneer thing, and of course the party was not permissible now, right? It was
Right.
200, 300
yeah.
people there.
And you have to have that energy of
You
people
have to
next
have
to one
it.
another.
Yeah.
I heard they're starting a new thing with Zoom with comedians.
Was it?
On the news this morning.
I've already done a couple of those already.
I've done
Rudy,
this.
you know Rudy Moreno?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we did one with Rudy.
The only problem is you have no audience.
No, and
Well-
it's really tough because
Yeah.
50% of your act is timing. You have, it's
course.
not like a singer, or here are my 8 songs, thanks for watching.
Of course.
You have to have, your timing is dictated by the audience reaction.
Yeah,
But when
interesting.
somebody figures out a way where you can hear the reaction like instantaneously,
Well, that'll be
in
nice.
real time, that'll be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Well, what we did is that when we did this show, we got 15 people, and it was in real time on the Zoom. I think you and I talked about it. And there was 10 comics, me included. Rudy hosted it, so we had 10 or 15, whatever it was. And then everyone from their own home, studio if you will, Rudy would introduce the next comic, and we'd just stand there in front of the camera and boom, do our 7-minute spot. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba, boom. And then Rudy come on and say, okay, say his little shtick, get it out. And then, okay, coming up next. And then boom, and then, so we did it like that with a real live audience. So you can actually, if you set up your laptop here, you can see the actual audience like you're in a Zoom meeting.
Right.
That's how it was. So it was that much of a delay, so I noticed my timing was off just a tad, just a little
Because
bit.
you don't hear the laughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just a beat,
The other thing I was thinking of too was, when you're watching something at home on TV and something's funny, you don't actually laugh out loud.
Yeah.
But you do if people are sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Because when you're in an audience,
It's the mob mentality.
that's right. The mob mentality makes us all laugh together. But when you're all by yourself, you don't laugh.
Yeah.
Even though it's just as funny.
That's exactly correct.
You know, they did the same thing with WWE now. They have no audience.
I saw a boxing match the other day on TV.
You
No,
put it on
no
Friday
audience.
night and it's the wrestlers and nobody's there.
Yeah,
They do with basketball, too.
There
They
are
do
refs with
basketball.
masks
Yeah.
on, but no
So
audience.
much of that is the energy of
Right.
the room, the show business,
Sure.
and the crowd cheering.
You've got to have that, but
You have to have that energy.
Yeah, you got to have the
Yeah,
energy.
they were just interviewing that the girl that beat Serena in the tennis match, and they were.
Yeah.
I think she's 18 years old, and she said, I don't know that I would work as hard to an empty stadium because
what?
you
That's
just get
really-
charged up.
That's a really interesting point for the NFL and
right.
baseball and everything
You just don't
else.
work as
So
hard. It's
what's
just
going to happen now with like the beach contest and the bodybuilding contest and all that the guys train so hard for?
They're done.
No more.
Venice Beach is done.
don't
He's already announced it.
Wow.
They can have those competitions, and just have to orchestrate them a little bit.
Well, the other problem though too is that the gyms were closed for so long
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that the
Guys are
bodybuilders,
not-
have not
yeah.
prepared.
That's interesting.
So I know a couple of guys that work out at a friend's gym and have been able to stay in shape, and they want a show in November, right? But the promoters aren't going to have a show that's only going to have 12 contestants or 8 contestants.
Yeah.
What if you're the only one that enters and you still take second?
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
But you know
That's
what?
where you
Rick,
could say I'm
bring
second
up
to
an
none,
Interesting
right?
point.
Yeah.
I know in broadcasting, because I did the weather at home for 3 months.
Oh, right.
Because of my age and other issues, I was the first person they threw out of the building. We don't want you to come back. We're going to send a camera to your house. We don't want to see you anymore. It's true because I'm the oldest guy there. But
But you're not.
That's what happens when you retire.
no, it's okay.
But you're not the oldest guy here.
That's okay. Well, that's why I came over. I feel so young. I think that what this whole thing did was push the technology forward, where I think you're going to see reporters at home all the time now. Not all of them, maybe not as many as now, but also you've got Elton John, you've got Celine Dion, you've got all these guys doing these living room concerts.
Yes,
right.
As soon as they figure out a way to monetize those, where there's no roadies, there's no stage, there's no infrastructure, they're going to make a fortune because it's just you and the audience.
Yes, there's got to be a way to monetize.
Like a pay-per-view.
You know, the best thing about doing this and having Google and having YouTube is you can monetize it.
Yeah.
And so every time I put another show and I get more clicks and advertisers, my money goes up. Yeah. It's not easy. It goes up little by little by little, and then you look at it and it just went down. I just gained 5,000 views and it went down.
You have a global fan base.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
I do.
But it's a number of clicks, right? So even though you've got more potential viewers, doesn't mean they viewed that one.
No, but I have advertisers like Honda.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's damn good.
All right, so over this period of time, none of us could get to a gym. We all sat home wondering what's up, right? You know, there's a lot of depression.
Right.
There's a lot of drinking. There's a lot of suicide. And it's pretty sad. And so Ina had told me, Rick, you got to get to the gym. I said, well, I can't. There's nowhere to go, and I'm crippled. So she got me over to Eric the trainer's gym. And I went a couple of times with the trainer, and he helped me work out and took me through some stuff that maybe I didn't know.
Maybe. He admits it.
No, it's stuff I knew, but at least it got me out of the house.
Reminded you.
Yeah, he was a good kid. Got me out of the house.
I didn't work out for 2.5, 3 months, and I was just...
I used the bands, and I got some weights in there, but that was not the same thing.
You just don't even feel like the same person.
You know what I bought in? We bought the Chuck Norris Total Fitness.
Yeah.
The thing with Christy Britton, the whole thing. We bought that 20 years ago. It has been sitting in the garage for 20 years.
And now...
Brand new, never used it. We brought it in the house, and I used it for 3 months, and I got 2 sets of dumbbells, 25s and 15s.
Yeah.
And that's what I
really do think that this is sort of the wave of the future now, as more people are going to be working out at home.
Yeah.
If for no other reason that because they're afraid it might happen again.
But there's another quality about that, and you brought up like the most important point about how depressed people have a mild depression.
Yes.
Especially for social people like you.
Yeah. Me?
You feed off the energy of the public. I love to sit at Starbucks and watch you hold an audience. You have fans, or people at least know who you are,
right,
from 10 years old to 80 years old, and they come up
to
you, and you're very social. I've found that people who are really social, who need that interaction on a daily basis, are having a tougher time with this than most others.
Yeah, the gym is more than just the place where you go lift weights.
I ended up just working out and talking to my cat.
Yeah.
And then she gets mad at me, and we'll talk.
Yeah, the gym is a networking place. It's like the golf course. It's a therapeutic thing. Yeah.
It is.
Let me tell you
can
something.
Walk in the gym and you can count on. Yeah, I can't wait to see Bob, Kelly, and Joe today. And, when they're not there for a couple years, you're like, I hope they're okay.
Yeah.
What happened to you, man?
Yeah, it's like a community of high school.
Yeah.
But I walked back into the gym last week, going to Gold since they opened up.
Which one?
North Hollywood.
Oh, is that Angels?
Yeah.
Angels still in it?
And they have no rules.
Okay.
You got to wear a mask in, but you can take it off.
Same thing over at Ellis.
It's just a few people there.
Yeah.
But just walking in and the air conditioning and the ambiance of the gym and the feeling just can instantly perk me up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I feel I'm home.
Yeah.
I'm home. I know this place 30
And
years.
the familiar faces are just great. Even if they don't say anything to you, the familiar faces.
Yeah.
Now, did you find that most of the people that were back in there were like the hardcore guys like you, but not just the pedestrian people?
Yes. Mostly regulars that showed up. I can't do a whole lot right now with this injury, and my shoulders. So I just went from machine to machine and did 4 or 5 sets of really lightweight. And my friend James is working out, and 2 days later I did another workout. He says, "My God, you're putting size on already." I said, "Well, you got muscle memory."
Yeah.
Comes right back, and I'm eating a lot. My doctor increased my thyroid by double.
Wow.
So now I can eat.
Yeah, right, nice.
But it feels good to get back and train.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'll never train like I used to anymore.
I don't train like I used to. I just do it to stay in shape, and I ain't talking around shape. Any shape is good.
I look at the 150
Yeah.
I look at the 150-pound dumbbells and say, "Oh my God, that was a long time ago."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just looking at the bar and two wheels. I'm like,
I see.
but that looks a lot like right now. We're 45.
I see
like,
young girls in their 20s training, and they're squatting with 225,
Wow.
and they're working out hard.
Yeah.
and they're in better shape than I am for sure.
Yeah.
It's discouraging when a girl's squatting 225 and you're not, right? It's discouraging to get up when a guy's doing it, but when a girl's like, okay, that's it.
I find it exciting.
You know what's discouraging when I get on the and I get a shoulder injury, and just the bar itself. I'm just like, this hurts. I don't want to do this. It bothers me.
Well, you should follow my program.
You're right.
I'll tell you about the shoulders. Over the years, I've beat him up in that ring out there.
Yeah.
And so for me to reach for a cup of coffee when Fritz brought me some, it's like this. And then I have to pull it in this way and drink it because it's frozen.
You know, I saw Sergio Oliva at one of the Mr. Olympia contests before he passed away, and I went to shake his hand, and he went,
Yeah.
he couldn't lift his arm up. He had to lift his whole body up to shake my hand.
It's pretty sad.
That's what happens if you beat him up long enough.
From lifting, right? Was he a wrestler as well?
No, he was just a bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder.
Well, yeah, Fritz, you don't know this, but I came up with a whole new way of working out that eliminates overhead presses. It's just not a sensible exercise. I mean, if you look at what the side deltoid does, what the front deltoid does, what the rear. By the way, from an evolutionary standpoint, we evolved from quadrupeds, so we pushed forward and progressively downward. When would a hominin ever have had to push at an incline angle or an overhead angle?
So it's a totally unnatural act.
It's a completely look. It was grandfathered in because once upon a time there was such a thing as strongman acts.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So people thought, hey, I've got a heavy weight, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to lift it. Well, which direction? Up.
Yeah.
Up. Right?
That's interesting.
So next thing you know, that evolved to powerlifting, and then that evolved to bodybuilding.
Wow.
But the overhead press is a completely unnatural movement.
Wow.
Wow.
And so is an incline press.
Really?
And if you draw, like lift up your left arm, that way. Okay? Fritz, you tell me, how much of its pectoral muscle is above my arm and below my arm?
50%.
No.
I'm sorry.
How much of it is above my arm? How much of its pectoral muscle?
Eyewear, so
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
How much of its pectoral muscles is above my arm?
The pectoral
Like
muscle?
right there. Is there any pectoral muscle
Oh,
right
no,
there?
no, not at all.
Any right there?
No.
Any-
I'm sorry.
Right. So when you move in an incline angle, you're not moving toward any pectoral muscle.
Right.
No.
All muscles pull toward their origin.
Yeah.
How could they not?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So when you're pulling from the highest pectoral fiber on the sternum, the highest, you're already doing a straight angle, a flat bench angle.
Huh.
There's nothing to work on an incline angle. It's all progressively downward angles. And yet, every gym in the world has an incline press. You look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had a magnificent upper pec. And you think that's why? Well, no, that's because flats and declines work the upper pec.
Yeah, the declines for sure.
They all do. I mean, it's like the idea.
Decline works the upper pec?
Yeah.
The declines, well, look, if you
I
move
thought
your...
it was lower.
No, if you move your arm in a direction that is straight
Straight
toward the middle of the sternum,
Oh, I'm going to feel, okay.
right between the highest and the lowest part, you're moving your pectoral muscle toward the highest origins, towards the most number of origins.
Wow.
Right? So even when you're doing a flat, you're not moving toward the greatest number of pectoral origins. You're just moving to the very, very highest amount.
So what's...
But when you look at someone like Arnold, you don't know which exercise was X percentage incline, X percentage flat. You just know his pecs look good, and you make the assumption that they all contributed equally. But they did not.
I think with him was dumbbell flies and cable crossovers.
Well, it still doesn't address the angle.
No.
What I'm saying is the angle of press for pectorals has to be flat and various angles of decline. Nothing on the incline works the upper pecs.
But the angle
they can
of-
contribute a little bit, but it's not direct.
The angle of cable crossovers you can do to the center and down and up.
Yeah.
But to the center and down work better than up.
Much better than up. And by the way, I mean, anyone, next time you're in the gym,
feeling really insecure.
he's doing a lat spread right now.
All right.
Next time you're in the gym and you're playing around with an incline dumbbell press light,
Which I did today, actually.
your shoulder will hurt. Your shoulder will not feel.
And all of it puts an amazing strain on your shoulder.
I was
does.
doing I was doing 15s today, incline flies.
Well, here's the other thing that happens is that, you know,
And
in
it's only
physics,
because of this.
my
It's
book is
because of
called The
this right
Physics of
here.
Fitness. In physics, any lever, like anything that you want to put vertical, is going to be at a neutral position, right? Plumb bombs hang vertically, support beams are vertical, right? So as soon as you break away from the vertical position, you break away from that neutral position, okay? So if you're on an incline press or anything in this form, if you're looking at it from the side, is it vertical? If it's slanting slightly forward, it'll want to keep falling forward, and you have to reverse arm wrestle it to keep it from happening, and that's your infraspinatus that does that, and that's the muscle that gets most injured in the rotator cuff, because you don't know it. And look, next time you're in the gym, look at people doing incline, and you'll see, and overhead press, you'll see that their forearms are angling toward the front, and that means they want to keep falling toward the front, and they have to reverse arm wrestle it in order to do it.
Wow.
I know a little bit about what you're talking about because I had to get Tommy John surgery from typing.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, but Tommy John, obviously, it's a pitcher's thing.
Yeah.
From typing? From typing?
From typing.
You were all keyed up?
All keyed up.
It was all keyed up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on a second. I just need to add.
Wait, whose show is this?
Can I use you for a model for just
Please,
a second?
of course you can.
Can you turn around for just a
I've been
second?
used for a physical specimen many times.
Okay, so for those of you out there that wonder how this works,
guy has
this
no
is a
left.
shoulder blade right here, right? This is a scapula. And the inside of the scapula is where the origin of the the infraspinatus is. These fibers run across this way, they wrap around the top of the shoulder, and that muscle's job, bring your arm down a little bit, is to rotate the arm to the outside, right? So when it wraps around, it pulls toward the origin right here, right? But when his arm is up, right, and if this starts to fall forward and he needs to reverse arm wrestle it up, you're asking this arm to rotate this way, but it can't pull from here, it's pulling from over here.
Interesting.
Right, so it can't even pull toward the origin. That's called a mechanical disadvantage. And that means that muscle has to pull 6 to 10 times harder than it would if it was from with your arm down to your side. So when you see people do an external rotator like this,
that's not good.
that's okay. But when they're doing it like this, that's not okay.
Yeah.
That's a mechanical disadvantage, and that's really injurious to the shoulder.
So I've done this numerous times because of the shoulder injury.
And by the way, do you do that with a dumbbell?
I have, but not.
Because, if you use a dumbbell, it wants to fall down.
Right.
There's no
It's not
resistance.
going against your movement.
Right.
If you're going to the outside, it's got to go from that side.
But now what's
resistance?
So what's the difference between, cable starting here and
Yeah.
going like this?
Well, if the cable is
Or-
coming from the outside, you mean?
Yeah, so if it's from the outside and I'm going like
That's
this.
subscapularis.
Okay, and then if I'm grabbing it from over here,
That's infraspinatus. And that's why you can't do them at the same time. It's like doing bicep and tricep at the same time. You can't. You can only choose one direction of resistance, and you must oppose that resistance.
and then do the other one
And then do the other one.
the following day, or can you do
No,
the
or
same
you
day?
can do external,
Oh, yeah,
internal,
yeah.
internal.
Right, okay. Yeah, because that's what happened when I had the shoulder injury. They said do that, and I was like...
But you see these people holding a pair of dumbbells and they're going like this. It's like their lateral movement is not being opposed.
There's no resistance.
It's got a vertical resistance.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to see someone in the gym. I'm like, I've actually walked with people and said, I don't normally do this, but you're killing me. You're going to hurt yourself.
Can you imagine if you laid on your side and took a dumbbell and did dumbbell curls while lying on your side? You would know you're not working your bicep.
Right.
Because the resistance isn't opposing your concentric movement.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? It's coming from the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, your show, back to you. Back to you again.
I just don't know what to say. I'm just at
When
a loss.
does that happen? That never happens.
I have a
You
question.
know what? Let me just say one thing.
Yes.
I stayed out of bodybuilding when I realized I couldn't hold up the championship belt. The championship belt.
When you can't even hold
I
it,
can't even hold the damn belt.
then you know something's wrong.
But now you can.
Sorry.
All right. So
That's
we
all
work,
right.
we work out for years to build our muscle like Fritz did.
Yeah.
And he seems to maintain it really well.
We
I
failed and he succeeded.
don't know why. And then you take 2 or 3 months off because there's something floating around the air, which I don't know sure if there is or isn't. And you sit home and then your body just degenerates. Why is that muscle just...
Then you're a degenerate.
I've always been. Well, that's how I get by in life.
Bum.
Comedy's tough, man.
Why does
Yeah, isn't it?
Well, it's so natural. I'm the Generation X. So,
Degeneration X. Degeneration X.
It's going to be a long show.
Can I finish, please?
did you know I was a vegetarian? Anyway,
You're kind of linguistic.
now can I talk now? Doug, go get the duct tape for Doug, please. Why does the muscle not hold its size after a week or two and it just starts to go...
For the same reason that you can't hold a tan when you're not in the sun anymore.
Oh, I hold tan.
Use it or lose it.
I never lose it, really.
It's muscle growth, muscle size is an adaptation to load. When the load is gone, it doesn't need to adapt to that anymore.
Yeah, but you spent years building it.
Well, it'll come back quickly, but it's. And by the way, the reason it comes back quickly is the same reason it goes away quickly,
You're putting a load on it.
right? It just adapts to the load, to the necessity.
I've run into a lot of people in the gym this past week that were in pretty good shape. Oh my God, they've lost it all.
Yeah.
One of the guys working there must have gained 30 pounds around his stomach. I mean, how do you gain weight like that?
Well, some people go back to being skinny, like
Yeah.
me. Other people go back to being fat. Whatever your natural state is without the working out is what you go back to.
Well, I tried to stay in shape as much as I could with the bands and the thing, but I lost like 20 pounds. But that was because I had a bad kidney
yeah.
and I had an injury. So now that I'm back in shape now with the kidney feeling pretty good, I'm eating a lot of food. I mean, I got Colonel Sanders chicken last night with biscuits.
Yeah, just keep the working up and you'll just turn it into muscle.
That's exactly it. Well, it doesn't turn into muscle, you know that.
Well, what you'll be feeding the muscles, what I'm saying.
So here's a question that seems to be controversy. Does muscle weigh more than fat?
Yes.
Yeah, of
It
course.
does.
It's much denser. It's like twice the density.
Okay.
All right, so if you take 20 pounds of muscle and 20 pounds of fat, which weighs more?
Yeah, it weighs the same, but the point is if you lose 20 pounds of fat and gain 20 pounds of muscle, you'll be smaller. You'll have smaller
There's
volume.
a difference
You'll
in
be
the-
shaped differently, of course,
There's a
too.
difference in the mass.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Well, anyway, so we're all back training a little bit.
Yeah, at least until they decide to close it again.
Oh, God, I
Which
hope
might
not.
happen to me if the bars are closing again now.
Are they?
Which, of course, I could care less about the bar. Some people care, but
Well, where am I going to get my Friday night dates?
I don't know. We'll have to bring them to you.
That's okay.
But the gyms, I think the gyms can be like Equinox where I work out. You know, they don't let just anybody in. I mean, you have to like reserve a spot. There's
wow.
a limited number of spots. If you're not going to make it, they ask you to cancel, so you let somebody else have the chance to get in there.
Yeah.
So I'm in this big open space, and there's maybe 18 people in this huge 5,000 square foot space.
Wow.
You know, that's just the weight room.
Now, have gyms gotten into a situation where patrons are pressing them to refund them because their year relationship went away? Or
Well,
no, I think they'll do that.
I would imagine they're getting a lot of angry people complaining about, look, where I work out at Equinox, arguably we have less of a gym than we used to. We're not guaranteed that we can get in there. We have to be out in 90 minutes. The spa, the sauna, all that's closed. The restaurants are all closed. They're closing earlier now. Instead of closing at 11, they're closing at 8. All this inconvenience, same monthly price. A lot of people unhappy about that.
yeah.
Did they put your membership on hold at least for the 3 months?
They did.
Okay.
They did. And by the way, you know, they've lost a lot of money, so I can sympathize with the need to start bringing some revenue back. I don't know. I mean, how many people are going to be unhappy enough to cancel that membership because they can't come in at the hour they want to come in now?
Sure.
I don't know, but nobody's happy about what's going on.
Well, you know, I never.
Or postpone it, slide it forward 6 months so you can come back if you're going to come back and continue your...
Yeah, that would be a big
Well,
one.
that's what I thought would make good sense, is to give everyone like a half price for 6 months. At least you retain the person.
Yeah.
Then you can bump them up later, but you still have them. If they quit, you may never see them again.
Chances are a lot of them quit and never come back.
Yeah, or they just decide to work out at home.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we should close this up.
Have we made enough trouble already?
Oh, my God.
Ruffled enough feathers?
You're all wound up today.
I'm never one.
I want to thank Jeff for coming.
Hey, it's
And
an
I want
honor.
to thank you for bringing
Thank
Fritz,
you,
because
you too, Doug.
I
Thank
missed him so much.
Happy to see you.
Happy to see you.
Fritz, thank you so much. I'll have that coffee and water.
I'm happy to see
Yeah.
you. I think, honestly, now that I'm retired, I have more time to needle you about writing a book. I think you should write a book.
I have a book out called The Time of My Life.
Really?
I do. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, we write another one.
Because, I mean, you've met some of the most incredible people in the world, worked out with them, had them as friends. I just think you'd be good. Well,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yes, I have. And it's,
Did you write about that in The Time of Your Life?
Yes, I did. It's all in there.
How many
How
pages?
about the sequel?
It's long.
How about the time after the time of my life?
Yeah.
That'll come after.
How about the afterlife time?
That'll come after my kidney fails again.
Put the link down below
But let's.
where they can find
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
can
link
purchase
Well,
it.
you can find my book on Barnes and Noble or Amazon. Just type in Rick Drasin,
Yeah.
and it's actually quite a few book sales.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
beautiful.
So,
This was fun.
For these,
That was fun to be with you.
Yeah.
People want to get
well, they know that because I already advertised getting the Gold's Gym logo signed by me. So you might want to do that as well.
By the way, in case those out there don't know, Rick's talking to Kimberly out here.
Yeah.
In
His lovely, wonderful.
Did
my
you-
lovely wife.
Yeah.
Did you get one?
What?
An envelope for that?
No.
It's
Yeah,
in
I
the
know.
box right down at the bottom.
Show off Kimberly's mess that she made you.
Yeah,
with the Gold's Gym logo on
Go
it.
grab me that mask.
Please.
So Kimberly, in all of this craziness, as you guys know, my wife has been making masks, right? And I said, "How'd you do that?" She said, "I went on YouTube." I'm like,
These were made
"What?"
custom though, just for Rick.
These are custom.
But don't give away the human part. That she made them because there was a need at Veterans Hospital.
Yes.
So,
So,
which is really unbelievable.
so the way That's a mask.
That's really cool.
There you go with the logo.
The Gold's Gym logo. So the way this came.
That's a good look.
That is.
I show off my best features, my eyes.
The baby blues.
So the way this came to fruition is that we live in a veteran community, and what happened is that, and I don't know if you know this, Doug, but we have it's all veterans. Some are still active duty. Myself, I'm retired, and one of the veterans, who's a nurse who works at the VA, said that all of their PPE got stolen at the VA. Someone stole it.
Unbelievable.
I know, really low life.
Yeah,
people.
I know.
So
at a time like this.
At a time like this was 3 months ago. So fast forward, one of the vets, the nurse who works at the VA, said, "Hey, can Kimberly on the fly make us my team? She's on the blue team at the VA. Make us some face shields, the plastic and everything." So
I have one out there actually.
Right. So Kimberly got on it, made 10 of them. Boom, give them to the VA.
I wear one of those to bed at night.
Do you?
No kidding.
You
I wear that with a condom.
And you should wear it in the shower too. Yeah.
Then you're really safe.
Yeah.
In case anybody shows up in the middle.
Well,
of the night.
You never know. It could happen.
I leave my back door unlocked, hoping.
Hope is good. With a
Leave a
small
sign
one.
out there. Welcome.
Oh, that's fun.
In time.
I'm in the bedroom, by the way. Just look under the tent.
Right.
under the big top.
The big top. I even got popcorn here.
Hey. Thank you. I'm here all day. Hey.
Bum.
So, long story short, we got a couple calls. I posted one online just to say, look at my wife, blah, blah, blah. And we got a call from Henry Mayo Hospital. And for the COVID tent that they had there, she made some. And then she started making more. She's making more. And then just not charging, just for donation. And then Fritz was awesome enough. And, NBC4 did a spot on it.
Wow.
Where it was a pretty cool little spot. And now where it is today, now she has a little business going where she makes these masks. And we don't ask for money, just ask for donations, whatever you want to give. And if you like these masks, you can go to
CutiePieFaceMask.com.
CutiePieFaceMask.com. CutiePieFaceMask.com.
They named it after Jeff.
So how long did it take you to make one?
Well, it depends. Like the fancier one that I made,
Yeah.
Rick, I'm still working. Like those take a little bit longer. The other ones take about 6 minutes a piece to make. Those are pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I made the special one.
This has a filter in here, by the way.
Yeah, it has a filter pocket. Yeah, you can change that out, and they're totally washable. Wash them. That one took me a really long time because that one I put the nose piece
Oh,
in.
right. It's not even a straight thing. That's wonderful.
And I
Well, you know what I can use
Goals.
that for though.
Yeah.
It's a little too
In
big.
your old weightlifting days, that would
I wear that to the beach.
So some of them are pleated.
There you go.
Yeah, some of them are pleated, some are not.
Wait a minute. Just, I put my arm in here. Put
Yeah.
the other arm in there.
I can put my legs in there.
Hacky sack. Hey, bada bing.
All right. Anyway, we're going to close this out.
Okay. I think we've done well.
We have to visit, and I have to transfer this to my computer, and I want to show Fritz how I do it.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, thanks for having me on,
Thanks
Rick.
for-
No, this
you.
worked out great. I had a vision. That
You're a visionary.
You were coming over,
Right.
and Doug was here. I thought, well, we could hit a really good interview with training and all that. And then when I saw Fritz peek around the corner, and the weather was good,
I messed that all up.
This wasn't planned? You just, oh my
Messed up
goodness.
the training
We
part.
planned. We called Fritz a month ago and said, "Hey, you want to come over?" He said, "I'm on board." So
oh, that's great.
Oh,
this has been in the works for the last month.
Unbeknownst to him.
Unbeknownst to
I
Rick.
had no idea.
Yep.
I have to say something though. When we talked to Rick the other day, we said, "Oh my gosh, we totally have a surprise for you." And the first thing out of Rick's mouth was, "How tall is she?"
Oh my God.
And that's why I said about 6'1" blonde hair. But see, so I worked that in there.
Yes.
So here he is.
There you go.
How tall are you?
Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you very much, you guys. And stay tuned for more. Thank all you guys for coming. This was a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it out there and wherever you are in the world, because we do have fun out here in California. There's no question. Especially when you're with
Virus or no virus.
See you next time.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com.
Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin,
personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world. And I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.